Howdy. My name is Derek William Sturm, and this is my book, Will of the Wisps. I am not a professional voice actor, but I am the author. Will of the Wisps is not yet published. It is a YA novel intended to be the first of a series. Please share and enjoy. Monday, October 8th, Chapter 1, Mia. I hate when people ask me how I slept. How does anyone know how they slept? How could they? They're asleep when it happens. A better question would be, what did you dream about? Except that I don't dream. Not really. Franky, my sister, dreams all the time. Massive, elaborate worlds of princesses and dragons and fairies and curses. Heroes played by the same boys that she follows on Instagram. She used to describe her dreams to me as we walked to school, but we don't go to the same school anymore. Crusty-eyed and yawning, I forced myself into the kitchen, already preparing myself to hold back the cringe. Or try anyway. How did you sleep, Cammy? Morning, Dad. He smiles. That's the worst part. No one even cares to hear the answer. It's just small talk, which is what adults say when they mean talk that doesn't matter. Then why do it? I hate it when people ask me questions just to be polite, almost as much as I hate being called Cammy. But it's okay if Dad does it, I guess. I leap forward to hug him and laugh as he fakes concern about me knocking over his coffee. Everyone else calls me Mia. Mom, Franky, the teachers, everyone. Camia was my great-grandmother's name. She was like my mother's grandmother. Dead before I was even born. How's that supposed to work? It's like, hi, have this name of a dead person we knew. Everyone else met and loved her, but you didn't, and now you're stuck with her name. Too weird. Great-grandma Camia came over on the boat from Europe because she didn't care too much for the guy running her country, Mussolini. He was like Hitler, but for Italy. But even though I know he was bad and everything, and Grandma was right to get out of Italy when she did, I can't take him seriously. He sounds like a cartoon moose. His first name was Benito, which, now that I think of it, should mean Little Ben, because Ito is a thing they throw on the end of Spanish to mean little. My Spanish teacher says Italian and Spanish are pretty much the same language. They've got a giant clock in England called Big Ben, and his name was Little Ben, so I stuff apple butter toast I'm eating into my mouth so I can use two hands on my phone. Ben, Ito, Big Ben, I mumble while thumbing the keypad. Mia dear, don't talk with your mouth full. The internet seems convinced I want to know more about a professional dart player. I didn't even know dart playing was a profession. Who would pay you to play darts all day? Video games, sure, because they need testers and stuff. But there's nothing left to test with darts. We know how darts work. Unless, do they need to test every dart before it leaves the factory? Like quality control? You could have a big lawsuit if you sold darts that always flew off to the side and hit people. You'd lose, too, because the courtroom would be full of people looking like pirates because of all the eye patches. Imagine being sued by a pirate. I moved on to looking up if anyone has ever been sued by a pirate. Girl's too young for a cell phone, Dad says without looking up from his newspaper. He has the annoying habit of talking about me like I'm not in the room. Grow up, George. My mom, however, is a badass. Apparently, it's always pirates getting sued, which makes sense. But by record companies, which makes no sense at all. They all need phones these days. At least Mia uses hers for school. If anything, we should take away Franky's, my mom continues. Franky is not here to defend herself. It's morning, so she's in her bathroom. We used to call it the upstairs bathroom, but the rest of us pretty much gave up the fight and share the downstairs one now. Dad calls it expedient, which means low effort. I call it selfish, because she looks exactly the same when she comes out as she does going in. Skinny, gigantic, obnoxious, and crabby. Chapter 2, Franky. Even if I wanted to ignore that it's already October 8th, the changing colors of the leaves won't let me. Each slightly yellowing or peekaboo orange glimpse brings reality crashing down. The reality? Less than a month remains before the unofficial start of cuffing season, and I still don't have a boyfriend. A whole summer wasted. Coffee and bagels, movies in large groups, a disturbing amount of time spent sitting still while mosquitoes swarmed my already tanned legs and arms, and the rancid taste of river mud filled my nostrils. Lee called it fishing. Everything had been going perfectly. I know my skin is my best feature. None of the other girls can manage a tan like I can. Amber's got that beautiful latte skin, but it doesn't tan. For me, it takes about a week of sun, and I'm beach ready by May. Not that we have any beaches up here. But a few meager months, my friends and I agree I'm the prettiest, even if I'm dotted with bug bites. Assuming I can keep everyone looking at my legs. But Lee? Fucking Lee. Who moves at the end of the summer without telling anyone? All that effort for nothing. The prick even admitted, while standing on the street next to a surprise moving van, that he'd kept his family's plans a secret to avoid disappointing me. To avoid it! Disappointing me! Probably thought I'd sleep with him. I can't stop from complaining under my breath. Asshole. What? My sister, Mia. She picked up a fallen branch a few houses back and is currently dragging it along the sidewalk like a toddler. I said, Lee Fenton is an asshole, Mia. Oh. I watch as she pulls a soggy curl of dark brown hair from inside her teeth and lets it fall to her shoulder. She really needs a haircut. A couple more inches of height wouldn't hurt either. She looks much younger than 14. She's 14, right? On second thought, not even the most talented stylist could do anything with that hair. I thought you liked Lee, Mia says, after a moment. I liked Lee. Right. Liked. That's past tense, Mia. I know what past tense is, Mia spits, glaring at me. We learned verb tenses years ago. Fine. Don't like Lee. See if I care. Mia tosses her stick into the gutter and sprints off toward her friend Kaylee's house, where she will board a minivan with 3 other neighborhood children and get a ride to the middle school. I walk on, unlocking my phone and scrolling through the contacts. Harris? He's sorta cute, in a pudgy kind of way, but he never wants to talk about anything other than Call of Duty. It's Monday. I'd spent the entire weekend on social media trying to decide which of my dozens of uncuffed classmates had the right mix of attributes to become the temporary love of my life. I'd even taken a few notes on my cell phone. Number 1. Must be taller. Half the boys my age were eliminated by my last growth spurt. Luckily, since the end of the wasteland that was freshman year, some upperclassmen have started nosing around. Mainly around Amber, but at least they know who I am. Amber thinks it's silly that I won't consider shorter guys, but she's only 5'2" herself, and doesn't know how self-conscious and bitter boys get about the height difference. I don't need that baggage. Number 2. Must be Yuletide available. As late as Friday, Christian was topping my list. He's the perfect mix of respectable and confident, pretty but not prettier than me, smart but not an asshole about it. And he even asked me out once during the Lee fiasco. But if there's one thing everybody knows about Christian, it's his obsession with skiing. I do not mix with snow. But he loves it. Will not be away from the mountain for a single free second of winter. Ergo, uncuffable. No couches, no movies, no cuddling, just frosty face pain. Number 3. Must smell nice. I need to narrow the list down more so I can stop inventing excuses to sniff my male classmates. Seems like something even a sophomore would catch on to after the 3rd or 4th time. A real reputation killer. Maybe it'd be easier to cuff a smelly one first, then teach them how to use deodorant? Number 4. Must not be an asshole. The major problem. According to my research, there isn't a boy in school that one of my friends doesn't have a story about. Why do they need to make it so hard? Number 5. Must like me. This one makes me shiver. They do, I think. Some of them still do. I just need to act before Mother begins insisting on winter clothes, and I have to hide my best feature. Once the long olive silk legs disappear under jeans and woolen stockings, all I have left is my flat dark hair and falcon's beak. And no one likes those. Number 6. Must still be single. It's almost cuffing season. How many weeks remain before number 6 wipes out the entire male population of Cloviston? I quicken my pace and try not to think about how the cold, early autumn air is making the skin feel on my legs. Chapter 3. Reid. Shawn was already waiting behind the garbage in the theater hallway when I got there, the huge rubber barrel almost completely hiding him in shadows. Not that it mattered. All the hicks already knew where we ate. If they wanted to come bully us, the only thing stopping them is the thin wall between us and the drama teacher, plus her famously superhuman hearing. "Did you watch Kokai Odyssey last night?" I ask, flopping down beside him. "Yeah, trash. The whole arc is trash," Shawn answers flatly, punching buttons on his handheld. And like every day, he's letting his cafeteria hamburger and fries go cold on the plate. I reach towards the edge. "Can I just..." "No!" he says sharply, pushing the plate away from me with his foot. I sigh and start unzipping my lunch bag. $10 says peanut butter and jelly. "No bet," Shawn grins. "I'll give you 2-to-1 odds." "No bet." It's peanut butter and jelly. Between mouthfuls, I try to bring up the anime again. "It's not trash. You're trash. When Shokake brought out his second form, I lost it." Shawn scoffs. He thinks he's better than everyone else, which is why I'm the only one willing to eat with him. "Seriously? Second form? It's not a translation error. I checked. It's just dumb. And life burn? Seriously?" "What's wrong with life burn?" Shawn finally takes a fry from his plate, but he's still not eating it, just waving it around. Meanwhile, I'm stuck with soggy whole grain sawdust bread. They play it off like some big sacrifice, right? "Ooh, you just lost 10 years of your life. Ooh." But come on, man. It's not like we're ever going to see Shokake when he's old. The series is what, 400 episodes? And he's still 13, right? So what? He loses a decade when he's in his 80s? What do the writers care about that? Fucking dumb. "Shawn, language!" the drama teacher yells, tapping the wall. "Sorry, Mrs. Purvance," he answers, tapping back. Shawn's wrong. I like it. It's like the power has to come from somewhere, so he's burning it out of his own body, like he's burning his potential. Still miles better than training hard for a few episodes, though, Shawn scoffs. "What's wrong with training?" I ask, trying not to sound like a pompous asshat. Trying not to sound like Shawn, I guess. "It's just a happy sunshine message for parents to get kids to do their homework." "Oh yeah? Then how come I never do it then?" We both laugh. "Training is cool," I add. "That's why I do gymnastics, so I can be all badass and stuff." "You know only girls do gymnastics, right?" He takes the bell ringing for Shawn to have eyes for his food. He takes a single bite of the burger and tosses the whole plate in the garbage. I can feel my heart breaking. Shawn's smart, but he doesn't understand anything. Chapter 4. Mia. Gymnastics is after school. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with open gym all day Sunday. Kaylee can't come to open gym because her mom says gymnastics on Sunday is a sin. Kaylee's mom thinks everything is a sin. "Coming to D&D Saturday?" I ask her, trying to focus on doing my job as spotter, and failing. I hate lifting weights. My balance doesn't help with the weights, but since the trade, all Miss Andrews wants us to do is build muscle tone. Reid grunts and looks over at us in that icky way boys do, at which point I realize I'm letting my gaze float around the room instead of staying on Kaylee. "Can't," she huffs, sliding the weights up the ramp with her legs. I swear that if I hear that thing squeak scratch one more time, I'm going to scream. It needs WW-40, or whatever the stuff is my dad likes so much. Maybe I can bring a can on Wednesday in my backpack. "What do you mean you can't?" "Mom signed me up for a rummage sale at First Assembly." "Oh, that sucks." "Yeah, want to do some beams?" I look around for Miss Andrews before happily agreeing. She's been going off to the bathroom more and more lately, phone in hand. Franky says she's probably fighting with her boyfriend. All of Franky's theories revolve around boyfriends, though. Probably her dreams now, too. I'd rather drink a whole bottle of WW-40 than flop around the room sighing and scrolling through social media like she does. Kaylee and I take turns doing some scales, leaps, and cartwheels. I savor the chance to show off. Kaylee has a look halfway between awe and disgust on her face. Lap it up. Her perfect golden curls and dimples doing nothing to make her seem less pissed. Sweet, sweet jealousy. It's hard to believe she grew them back so fast after her cancer treatment. "How did you get so good all of a sudden?" she asks, and not for the first time. "I got some tips from Poco." I grin, knowing that it will just make her angrier. She mumbles something about it being my turn to push the leg sled, and we make it back just before Miss Andrews returns from the bathroom. I didn't lie to her. It really was Poco that helped me with my balance. And in a way, he kind of gave me advice on how to do it. Poco's advice was this: make a trade with me. Chapter 5. Franky. Dinner is agony. Mia and her idiot friend Kaylee are making faces at each other from across the table, opening their mouths with food half chewed and collapsing in giggles. Mother and father won't rein them in, and seem to be pointedly ignoring them. Which means, of course, they have to talk to me. God forbid they talk to each other. It's like a cop show interrogation, except no one wants to be the bad cop, and instead of looking for clues to some sinister crime or terrorist plot, they're poking holes in my life. Any big dates this weekend? Father asks, smiling like he just told a joke. He's obnoxiously Italian, even compared to me. Thank God he shaved his mustache a few years back. I think I would die if I heard another friend refer to him as Mario. Dunno. You won't let me have my phone at the table, remember? Francesca! Mother has this way of shouting words while seeming to whisper, reserved for when she's most judgmental and scandalized. She only uses it on me and father, though. Mia, as always, gets away with anything she wants. You shouldn't ask me questions like that if I'm not allowed to even mention the ridiculous limitations you two see fit to place on me. I draw the syllables out to better illustrate my outrage. Ridiculous limitations. Mother lowers her chin and looks at me over the top of her glasses with a thin, straight mouth. It used to make me squirm when I was Mia's age, but I am no longer Mia's age. I meet her gaze, bringing my fork to my mouth and pretend to chew. Pretend because I forgot to actually make sure there was something on the fork first. Screw it. May I be excused, please? Excused. Please. Mother looks like she's gearing up for a big fight, but father just says, sure. She sighs heavily, like it's forced, and manages to squeeze out, but no cell phone until the rest of us are done eating, over her shoulder as I sprint to grab my phone off the counter. Whatever. I leave it where it rests to prevent further drama. Even in that brief moment, I could easily see that there weren't any new notifications. So much for Thomas and his plans to set up a group bowling night. I flop on the couch and try to drown my brain and Mia's giggling with some TV. It must work, because it seems like only a few seconds later and everyone is saying goodbye to Kaylee at the front door. She eats here a lot. Mia says her parents are even stricter than ours are, as if Mia would know anything about strict parents. She comes into the living room. What you watching? I don't know. Stuff? I like stuff. She flashes me a smile and tosses me my phone. There are rare moments when I truly love my sister. Except there's something about her face. I drop the phone on the couch cushions without looking at it and leap to my feet, closing in on her as she settles down on Mother's recliner. What? She asks, uneasily. You've been in my makeup, I say, coming to that conclusion as I am saying it. But just the foundation? Not a bad job, actually. Hardly shows. But you can't be using my stuff without asking, Mia. Also, they told us in health class that sharing makeup is like a vector for disease. I haven't touched your makeup, she denies, but I can tell she's lying. Mia's tiny brown eyes always dart around my shoulders when she's lying, like she's trying to see if one of our parents is close enough to come to the rescue. Now the little cow is actually trying to pull her hood up and curl into a ball to hide her face. Mia? I start, breathing once, trying to stop myself from grabbing and shaking her. How long ago had I been thinking she was sweet? Mia, your freckles are gone, which means you covered them, which means foundation. And Mother doesn't use foundation, which means you've been in my makeup, which means... I let my voice drop, darkly, for the crescendo. You've been in my bathroom, Mia. Chapter 6. Mia. I could lie, tell her she was right. Tell her I'd been coating my face in that gross stuff that made her look all shiny and yellow and, well, gross. But I hate lying. It's dumb. You always end up having to tell more and, like, other stuff besides. What then? I start buying makeup and keeping it downstairs just so Franky lays off me about stealing hers, which, of course, Mom will find out. Then she'll want to get involved, probably think I want her to teach me how to do it. Ugh. That'd be worse than the talk Dad tried to give me about sex. It's like, who hasn't seen dozens of videos of turtles humping things by 5th grade? Crap, she's still staring at me. I didn't, Franky. I just don't have freckles anymore. Bullshit. That can't happen, Mia. People get more freckles over time. They don't go away. Well, mine did, I tell her, letting the injustice of it all keep my eyes cold and burning. Having the freckles was bad enough. No one else in my family has them. Franky's got Dad's smooth, dark skin, plus her hair is always flat and shiny. I've got Mom's curls, but they don't look as good without the strawberry blonde hair she has. And I'm short. Even at 11, Franky was taller than I am now. So yeah, I got rid of the freckles. Does that end my suffering for them? No, it's not fair. Franky snorts, starts walking back across the living room. Just when I start to think it's over, she's on me, petting me down with her knees and spitting into... Crap, she only moved away to grab a Kleenex. Within seconds, the spit-soaked tissue is being rubbed in my face. Gross! Gross! I yell, trying to buck her off. What the hell, Mia? The look of confusion in Franky's stupid, perfect, heart-shaped face is almost worth it, but not quite. My cheeks sting from the rubbing. I told you. Freckles don't just leave, Mia. Then where are they? I snap, more than a little upset that neither Mom or Dad have bothered to come save me. They could definitely hear us from the kitchen. Franky sits down on the couch, laughs once, and looks over. I have no idea, but sorry, for the tissue. And for not believing you, I guess. The apology feels better than I want to admit. Well, you should be, I answer, trying to keep the angry in my voice. Talking about how sharing makeup spreads disease and then, spitting in my face. Come and sit next to me, she says, softer this time. And I do. It's been weird lately, but Franky still feels like my best friend in the whole world, and there is no one I'd rather cuddle up to on a couch. The TV blares quietly as I lay against Franky, listening to her breathing. You wouldn't believe me. What? Franky responds. She's back on her phone again, swiping through photos with her left hand, shaking her head to move her long hair out of her eyes because she is still holding me with her right. My freckles? I traded them. She puts the phone down. What? I traded them to Poco? Poco, Franky says flatly. Yeah? I answer. Poco the raccoon. Poco your imaginary friend. Poco the imaginary raccoon that you used to believe in, 6, 7 years ago? Kinda? How can you kinda believe in a flying raccoon that is somehow both purple and invisible? Franky's phone has vanished. Her arm around my shoulders, once comforting, is now a bit tense. At least she isn't laughing at me like it was all a joke. Okay, so, Poco said... I scramble for a moment, trying to figure out where to start. Wait, this was last spring, just after Kaylee had to go to the hospital for radiation, and I was lonely, and there was no one to talk to. Coughs Franky. No one? Yeah, no one. You were spending all your time hanging out with that Amber girl that you don't even like and mooning at the boys' softball team. I could feel myself starting to get emotional. I hate being emotional. Baseball. Whatever. Hey, Mia? Franky pulls me in for a hug. It feels just right. Not too hard, but somehow she makes it clear she doesn't plan on letting me go anytime soon. I don't know. It just feels wonderful. After a moment, she whispers in my ear, Mia, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. Please tell me about Poco. After she eases up a bit on the squeeze, I continue. I was lonely, and I started talking to Poco again, just to talk to someone. And one day, he talked back. You saw him? Franky's face twitches unpleasantly as her phone buzzes. No, I couldn't see him, but, time... I trail off. Franky is trying not to look at her phone. It's killing her. I can tell, but she's trying. Just check it, I tell her. She thumbs the keypad rapidly and smiles. We're going bowling. Have fun, I sigh. No, we are going bowling. You are coming. Chapter 7. Thomas. Franky's parents must have made her bring her little sister. They climb in the back with Amber and I slide the Mustang slowly into neutral. I begged my dad to let me have the manual transmission this summer, and I'd be damned if I was going to mess it up in front of Franky and Amber. Not after 10 weeks hauling cement bags for his construction company and all the practice with the clutch. But the sister is whining at everybody to put on their seatbelts, and Luke is giving her a hard time, and it's all too much of a distraction. I breathe deeply and push it into first gear with only the briefest amount of grinding. Did anyone hear? Doubt it. Sister, Mary, I think, is swatting playfully from the back seat with Luke, which is causing Franky and Amber to laugh uncontrollably. This is how Luke always gets the girls. He ignores them, flirts with their moms and sisters, or, if no older or younger women are there, he gets out his book and ignores them. How does that even work? Right, I'm driving. Need to focus. I wonder if the kid will rat me out if I whip out my flask at the bowling alley. Thomas, music! Franky orders, and Luke spins around to do it for me. I concentrate on the road as some poppy dance queen starts belting about her creep of an ex-boyfriend. The girls are all singing along, even the little one. Luke starts pounding out the drumline on the dash, and pretty soon they're all doing it. Amber is kicking the back of my seat. I groan. My lips are dry, and I wish I could take a swig of rum now just to take the edge off. What do you think of Tommy's new ride? Luke asks, winking at me. What, you mean his dad's car? Franky retorts, and there are more giggles. Luke casually turns down the music, then spins around to face them. I know, right? Who would ever choose to drive a manual? Must be nuts. I want an electric, Amber pipes up. She's got one of those super high voices, but not annoying, just, well, high. Dad says gas guzzlers aren't going to have the resale value for much longer, but Mom says we can't afford one. But if we haven't got enough money, then why do we keep loading it in my brother's college fund? I'm sure Luke is finding this statement as hard to believe as I am. Amber's parents are some of the most well-off in our class. But I guess no one has money for everything. He's never going to college, Franky laughs. No offense, but Eric is a moron. You don't have to live with him, Amber practically squeaks. I can feel my heartbeat, hard and firm against my chest. Relax, Thomas. You can do this. You're the driver. You have an authentic cherry red Mustang with manual transmission, and you're going to do it right. You will be the most popular junior in school by the end of the week. 2 weeks, tops. We hit the off-ramp, and I merge smoothly, risking a single glance back to see if the girls noticed. Nope. They're still chatting about electric cars. I press the clutch and shift into neutral so I can give the Mustang some revs. Can't do that in electric, I say, trying, unsuccessfully, to sound badass. Can't poison the planet in electric either, the kid responds, and the girls are laughing again. Luke shoots me a sympathetic grin while cleaning his glasses, and I go back to focusing on the road. Why do girls have to make everything so hard? I begin to feel a gnawing panic in the pit of my stomach, and it takes me a minute to realize where it is coming from. The 18-wheeler in front of me. It's swerving. Kinda. Hasn't left its lane yet, but it's getting close. The semi's back wheels drift right and then left. I shift into second gear and give the Mustang some distance. Can't be too careful. That's when we get rammed from behind. Chapter 8. Mia.
Make a trade, Mia.
As before, Poco's voice sounds a bit like wind chimes, only harsher. What was that instrument we played in kindergarten? The tiny piano with the rainbow keys. The name was super German, which, so is the word kindergarten now that I think about it. It means child garden. But at least you can pronounce kindergarten. So I guess the eggs they sell with the toys in them must be German too? Kinder eggs? Ugh. Kind of creepy if you think about it, because it sounds like the eggs have children in them, which is... My head shifts forward then back. What happened to the seat? It feels like my face smacked against the sidewalk. I blink through tears and immediately puke, watching my dinner spiral upward towards the roof of the car. Then it comes back down and splatters my face. It's weird that there's no sound. I turn around to mention this to Franky, but stop because my neck hurts. There was another sudden lurch, and I want to puke again, but I hold it in because I don't want it to fall on my face. Wait, there is some sound. Ringing. I concentrate on the ringing because there's nothing else to do. My ribs hurt. I paw at them and discover I've been strapped down. Am I a prisoner? Hands reach over from my left and free me. Amber's face comes into view. Her mouth is moving under her cute button nose, but nothing is coming out. She's grabbing at me. I try to fend her off, but my arms are like noodles. Luke's face joins her from the front seat. It feels hot. Ire! Amber shouts. Everyone is shouting. Amber disappears, and there's that scowly guy that was driving the car pulling me out. It's so hot.
Mia, make another trade.
I'm out of the car and on the sidewalk, lying on top of Mr. Scowly. Amber is somewhere nearby crying, loudly. I struggle out of the boy's arm and look around for Franky, seeing Luke instead. He came to my birthday last year, gave me that video game I've been wanting, Blood Hunter 4. Wonder if Franky told him. Doubt it. She gave me earrings. My ears aren't even pierced. Luke is talking. I can't get the belt off her. She's doubled over it, and she's bleeding. Amber is screaming now, or just crying really loudly and high-pitched. Cry screaming. Thomas is holding Luke's shoulders and shaking him. I manage to get to my feet and stumble toward the car. I can see Franky inside. Her back is to me and her hair is turned red for some reason. Not Mom's light pale red, but dark red. Very dark. Bright red flames lick up from the hood of the red car. Everything is red. Everything except the bone sticking out of Franky's leg and into the fabric of the seat in front of her. Bone is white. Bones aren't supposed to stick out of legs like that.
Mia.
What, Poco? I'm busy.
Mia, your sister is going to die.
Is she? I slump back into the car and look for the little button that will make her seatbelt come off. It must be under her. Someone is tugging at my ankle. I kick back with as much strength as I have and hear a yelp of pain.
You can save her, Mia.
Okay, Poco. Can you give me something to save her, like super strength or something?
You know this one can. Make a trade, Mia.
I look critically at Franky's leg bone. It's lodged in the back of Luke's seat. What would happen if I hulked out and ripped Franky free? Would the bone stay? Would she lose her leg? Would I tear her in half? I don't think strength will work, Poco.
Take your time, Mia. Time is meaningless to this one.
Poco is right. I can see that he's done his trick. Amber, Luke, and Thomas are frozen, gaping statues. The cars and trucks in the opposite lane might as well be parked. Can you, just hold time while I get her out?
This one cannot. Mia, you have to make a trade.
I try pushing out my lower lip like I do when Mom's being stubborn, but it has no effect on Poco. I need to think. What if I stopped the fire?
This one can give you the ability to stop the fire, Mia, but you need to make a trade.
You can read my mind? I shout, a little irritated.
Yes. Would you like to read minds too, Mia?
How would that help? Calm. Be calm. Think it through. Putting out the fire won't stop Franky from bleeding to death, and it won't get her leg bone out of the back of the seat. What if, instead of making a deal with you, I made one with Franky?
Yes, Mia. That would save her. But this one cannot do this for free. This one trades unnatural traits for natural ones. You know this. This one has told you already.
So give me the ability to trade with people. To take their injuries.
Yes. The price will be your dreams.
My what?
Your dreams, Mia. This one cannot dream and desires to experience the sensation.
So when I sleep, what happens?
Nothing. You fall asleep. You wake up. No dreams. No nightmares. Just sleep.
No loss there. I barely dream as it is. And this new ability you're giving me, how do I do it?
After the trade, you can touch her, and her injuries will be your injuries.
Will she get mine then, or will I keep them all?
Which do you desire?
I want Franky to have no injuries.
Make the trade, Mia.
Okay, deal. Time returns. The fire crackles. Amber wails. Luke's fingers have another go at my left ankle. Before he gets a grip, I reach out and touch Franky on the least blood-coated part of her leg. Chapter 9. Thomas. When Franky returns from the operating room, I hesitate just long enough that Amber is able to swoop in and hug her first. Hugs are so awkward. You can ask permission and feel like a sad dork, or you can just do it and risk they'll push you away and act like you're some kind of asshole. So I've gotten in the habit of just hovering, like a bigger, sadder dork. It's well past midnight now, and we're the only ones in the waiting room. Amber's hug is taking forever, so I give up and I go sit down next to Luke. My dad is gonna kill me, I mumble. He loved that car. Luke looks up sharply and hisses. Show some fucking empathy, Thomas. Mia could die. Franky squeezes Amber and gives us a tight smile. No, she's okay. The doctor just got her leg back in and bandaged the wounds on her head. She'll recover. They're casting it now. How are your parents? I ask. Just happy we're alive, I think, Franky answers. And don't worry, Thomas. I told them the accident wasn't your fault. I try to smile at her, but it's too difficult to maintain for long. My brain flops around for something to fill the silence. The guy who hit us died. I saw them putting him into a body bag back there. How are you feeling, Franky? Okay. I mean, good. Great, actually. Probably the adrenaline, right? I mean, I feel like I could run a marathon or something. We all just stare at her. What? She demands. Why are you looking at me like that? You were... Luke starts. I mean, we all saw it, right? Your leg was broken, Amber says quietly. Bad. Like Mia's. And you weren't moving. And we couldn't get you out, Luke adds. It's my turn. I try and keep my eyes and voice steady as I look at her. And Mia was fine. I pulled her free, but she fought us to go back in for you. Look, there's no blood on my clothes at all. That isn't funny, you guys. We're not being funny. I reach out and try to take her hand, but she slaps it away. See? You can't win. Try and touch them. Not important. Just keep talking. Mia was fine, Franky. You were the one bleeding. You were the one with the broken leg. You were the one that was trapped in the car and about to burn to death. Luke nods. Mia went back in, and I was trying to pull her out, and suddenly she had your injuries. And the next thing I knew, you were there, helping me pull her out. Good as new. He stops, looking to Amber and me for support. Amber is nodding. Franky is flabbergasted, but no longer yelling. That's impossible, she says, and then repeats herself, sinking slowly into the cyan-colored waiting room chair. This concludes Part 1 of Will of the Wisps. You've just listened to 9 of 108 chapters. The book is finished, but the audio is in progress. All of it will be on this channel eventually. I'm looking for a literary agent and publisher, so please tell your friends to get the word out. If you are a literary agent or publisher, please contact me at this channel. It's just me, so I will get your message. And finally, go nuts with comments and criticisms. Help me make it perfect before publication. Thank you.